at the presentation yesterday. When we say above average, last year was above average. So what does that mean specifically?
Well, last year at this time, NOAA issued their most aggressive forecast they ever issued because the alarm bells were going off. This year, it doesn't look like as alarmy. However, these outlooks really don't tell you a whole lot about the upcoming season on where the actual storms are going to go, things like this. So we always like to remind you, it only takes the one storm. You hear us say that over and over. But here are the numbers they came up with here. And they are on par with what Colorado State also issued. These are our two main entities that issue these outlooks. They're showing above average. Now, they're not showing a record-breaking season, but certainly could be an active one. And last year was an active season. We had big old Category 5 Milton in the Gulf last year. Luckily, that just didn't impact any land as a Cat 5. So here's the reasons for these. Warm waters, they're running a little bit warmer than average. The lack of El Nino, meaning decreased wind shear. Whenever there's El Nino, we typically have more wind shear in the Atlantic Basin, so we're not expecting El Nino this year. We have an active African monsoon. That is the seed, or produces our tropical waves that become and can become hurricanes. So all four of those together can lead to an active season. Luckily, there's nothing to worry about right now. The Eastern Pacific is probably heating up a bit earlier here in the next week, but the Gulf is going to be quiet for a little while longer. Typically in June, the spots we watch are down here over Central America, and occasionally you can get some of those weaker systems that do form in the month of June. And we have had some weak tropical storms over the past few years and impact our area in June. So just a reminder, hurricane season, it's about here. All right, here's what we're going to be watching as we head through our Memorial Day weekend. Couple storms in the forecast today. As we get into the weekend, though, rain chances do look lower, not zero, though, and hotter. Will be in the low 90s both Saturday and Sunday. So if you've got plans for your Friday, I've got a couple storms popping up this afternoon. These are going to be our hit or miss storms, but oftentimes this time of year, hit or miss storms don't move very quickly, and they can be on the strong side. So we will monitor that for you this afternoon. Radar, not a whole lot going on this morning. We've had a couple showers down into Lafourche Parish. Those have since dissipated. May have a couple showers trying to form in coastal areas this morning. As we heat up, coastal showers and storms become inland showers and storms. So here's what we're watching as we go through the morning. Notice not a lot. Once we get closer to the afternoon hours, 11 and noon, we start to see some storms bubble up. That'll continue into the afternoon. Notice a few of these impacting maybe the metro area or up through the river parishes or North Shore, and then they'll rain themselves out this evening. It's typically not a widespread flood event, but we've seen it before. These little isolated pop-up storms can sometimes cause problems. I think many spots that do see rain are about 1, maybe 2 inches on the high side. So we'll watch for some isolated street flooding. I don't think it's a big deal, a big issue though. Also, a few storms could produce strong winds and some hail. We had a few hailstorms yesterday down into the bayou parishes. So the weekend's trending drier, but next week we start to see the chance of rain back in the forecast, and we'll be watching for a better shot of showers and storms throughout next week. As a weak cool front tries to get here, I just don't think it's going to get here. Like this past one we just had, it doesn't look like it's going to do much for us in the way of cooler temperatures. So Memorial Day, a 30% chance of rain. As we head into Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we'll bump that up to a 40% chance. Marine forecast, variable and light winds as we go through our weekend, so no big issues out on the water with the winds. Have to watch for pop-up storms, though. High tide, that's going to be later morning, early afternoon. Low tides happening later this evening.